Okay, in last lecture we have completed our author's preface, and today we are going to complete our highlighted portion of this book. आज सभी highlighted lines को देखेंगे और चलो देखते हैं और क्या बुक है रिच डैड पुअर डैड written by Robert T. Kiyosaki. Let's start. There are total 9 chapters. Here, these are 9 chapters. The rich don't work for money. The lesson: the increases in income are going to entrepreneurs and investors, not to employees, not to the people who work for money. Savers are losers. Today, the biggest losers are the middle and poor class, the people who work for money and save money. Your house is not an asset. Introduction. The love of money is the root of all evil. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Subject of money is taught at home, not in school. Taxes punish those who produce and reward those who won't produce. Study hard so you can find a good company to buy, not to find a good company to work for. One encouraged talking about money and business at the dinner table, while the other forbade the subject of money to be discussed over a meal. Learn to manage risk. My house is a liability, and if your house is your largest investment, you are in trouble. How can I afford it? My brain gets stronger every day because I exercise it. The stronger it gets, the more money I can make. Proper physical exercise increases your chances for health, and proper mental exercise increases your chances for wealth. There is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. Money is power. I noticed that my poor dad was poor because of his thoughts and actions. There is a difference between being poor and being broke. Broke is temporary, poor is eternal. Study to be rich. I don't work for money, money works for me. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. All that has made all the difference, and that has made all the difference. Money is one form of power, but what is more powerful is financial education. Chapter 1. The rich don't work for money. The poor and middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. A nice car and a nice house doesn't necessarily mean you are rich or you know how to make money. You are only poor if you give up. Most people only talk and dream of getting rich. Keep going, don't quit. You work for me, I will teach you. You don't work for me, I won't teach you. I can teach you faster if you work, and I am wasting my time if you just want to sit and listen like you do in school. That's my offer. Take it or leave it. Opportunities come and go. Being able to know when to make quick decisions is an important skill. Take it or leave it. Mike's dad, whom I call my rich dad. My dad is my dad is quiet and a man of few words. My real dad, the one I call the poor one. Most of the time, life does not talk to you, it just sort of pushes you around. Each push is life saying, wake up, there's something I want you to learn. Con of learning. Doing the real thing is the most efficient way. After 2 weeks, we tend to remember 90% of what we say and do. Doing the real thing is the active nature of involvement. Simulating the real experience, doing a dramatic representation. 70% of what we say, giving a talk, participating in a discussion. 50% of what we hear and see, seeing it done on location, watching a demonstration, looking at an exhibit, watching a demonstration, watching a movie. 30% of what we see, looking at pictures. 20% of what we hear, hearing words, lecture. 10% of what we read, reading. Or if you are the kind of person who has no guts, you just give up every time life pushes you. If you are that kind of person, you will live all your life playing it safe, doing the right things, save yourself for some event that never happens. Deep down, you were terrified of taking risk. You really wanted to win, but the fear of losing was greater than the excitement of winning. Learning by making mistakes through trials and error is more and more important. Book learning is proving to be less valuable in the real world. No longer does a college education guarantee a job. If you realize that you are the problem, then you can change yourself. Learn something and grow wiser. Most people want everyone else in the world to change but themselves. Let me tell you, it's easier to change yourself than everyone else. Let me tell you, it's easier to change yourself than everyone else. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. True learning takes energy, passion, and a burning desire. Most people never see the trap they are in. You don't have to say it to anyone else, just admit it to yourself. People's lives are forever controlled by two emotions, fear and greed. Most people have a price, and they have a price because of human emotions named fear and greed. Emotions are what makes us human. The word emotion stands for energy in motion. Just be an observer, not a reactor. A job is really a short term solution for a long term problem. With low interest rates and an uncertain stock market, the old edges of saving and investing for the long term makes no sense. Master the power of money. If you don't first handle fear and desire and you get rich, you will only be a highly paid slave. It's just like the picture of a donkey dragging a cart with its owner dangling a carrot front in just in front of its nose. Donkey's owner may be going where he wants to, but the donkey is chasing an illusion. Tomorrow there will be another carrot for the donkey. Yes, and you. And as you get older, your toilets get uh, your toys get more expensive. A new car, a boat, and a big house to impress your friends. Unfortunately, for many people, school is the end, not the beginning. Anger combines with love to create passion, a key component of learning. The poor and the middle class work for money, the rich have money, work for them. Lesson 2. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. I am concerned that too many people are too focused on money and not on their greatest wealth, their education. Money without financial intelligence is money soon gone. Most people fail to realize that in life it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Rich people acquire assets, the poor and middle class acquire liabilities that they think are assets. If you want to be rich, you need to be financially literate. While my rich dad stressed the need to master financially literacy. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability and buy assets. KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it super simple. Asset liability. An asset puts money in my pocket, and a liability takes money out of my pocket. Learn, unlearn, relearn. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. An asset is something that puts money in my pocket whether I work or not. A liability is something that takes money out of my pocket. Illiteracy, both in words and numbers, is the foundation of financial struggle. If your pattern is to spend everything you get, most likely an increase in cash will just result in an increase in spending. Thus, the saying, a fool and his money is one big party. Financial aptitude. What do you do? Sorry. What you do with the money. If you find you have dug yourself into a hole, stop digging. Japanese were aware of these three powers: the power of sword, jewel, and the mirror. Power of sword symbolizes the power of weapons. Jewel symbolizes power of money. Mirror symbolizes the power of self-knowledge. It is said that the fear of public speaking is a fear greater than death for most people. What's more important than money? An entrepreneur's team. He also hated the word can't. If you wanted him to do something, just say, I don't think you can do it. An intelligent person hires people who are more intelligent than he is. The benefit of spending hours listened to and learning like intelligent people. When we were told to follow set procedures and not deviate from the rules, we could see how school discouraged creativity. The more we knew about the power of money, the more distant we grew from our the teachers and our classmates. Investments that may have return of 100% to infinity. $5,000 that are soon turned into 1 million or more. Investments that the middle class calls too risky. The investment is not risky for the financially literate. You work for the company. Employees make their business owners or the shareholders rich, not themselves. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward, or I stopped working today. How long could I survive? Unlike net worth, which is the difference between your assets and the liability, is often filled with a person's expensive junk and opinion of what things are worth. This definition creates the possibility of developing a truly accurate measurement. I could not measure and know where I was in terms of my goal to become financially independent. Although net worth often includes non cash producing assets like stuff you bought that now sits in your garage. And wealth measures how much money your money is making and therefore your financial survivability. Wealth is the measure of the cash flow from the asset column compared with the expense column. The rich buy assets, the poor only have expenses. The middle class buy liabilities they think are assets. Chapter 2 is summary. More important than money to our survival is our education, the ability to learn. It's not how much you make, but how much you keep. If you want to be rich, you need to be financially literate. Assets add to your income, they put money in your pocket. Liability takes money out of your pocket. Want to be rich? Buy assets. It seems simple, but so many people struggle because they buy liabilities. If you want to gain and maintain wealth, you must build your understanding. Rule number one, you must know the difference between an asset and a liability and only buy assets. That's all you need to know. But despite it being so simple, it's something that many people don't understand. Cash flow of poor, cash flow of middle, cash flow of wealthy person. An increase in cash only results in an increase in spending. When there are enough assets to generate more than enough income to cover expenses, the balance is reinvested into assets. Wealth is a person's ability to survive so many number of days forward. Or if I stopped working today, how long could I survive? Wealth is a measure of the cash flow from the asset column compared with the expense column. When your assets generate enough income to cover your expenses, you are wealthy, even if you are not yet rich. Two minds are better than one. Be honest with yourself and your partner. Chapter 3, Mind Your Own Business. Life is sometimes tough when you do not fit the standard profile. Keep expenses low, reduce liability, and diligently build a base of solid assets. When I say mind your own business, I mean to build and keep your asset column strong. Once a dollar goes into it, never let it come out. Think of it this way: once a dollar goes into your asset column, it becomes your employee. The best thing about money is that it works 24 hours a day and can work for generations. Keep your day job. Be a great hardworking people, but keep building that asset column. An important distinction is that rich people buy luxuries last, while the poor and the middle class tend to buy luxuries first. Study session. Robert says real assets fall into the following categories: business that do not require his presence, stocks, bonds, income generating real estate, notes. The stocks of small start companies. Minding your business doesn't mean starting a company through for some people. It will. Instead, your business revolves around your asset column, not your income column. His strategy is to be out of the stock in a year. To be financially secure, a person needs to mind their own business. An important distinction is that people buy luxuries last, while the poor and the middle class tend to buy luxuries first. The poor and middle class buy luxuries with their own sweat, blood, and children's inheritance. Chapter 4: The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. My rich dad just played this game smart, and he did it through corporations. The biggest secret of the rich. A corporation is merely a file folder with some legal documents in it, sitting in some attorney's office and registered with the state government agency. A corporate is merely a legal document that creates a legal body without a soul. Using it, the wealth of the rich was once again protected. It is the knowledge of the legal corporate structure that really gives the rich a vast advantage over the poor and the middle class. The rich always found a way to outsmart them. True capitalists use their financial knowledge to simply find an escape. He just played the game smarter and did it through corporation, the biggest secret of the rich. He was ignoring me on purpose. He wanted me to recognize his power and the desire to have that power for myself one day. Knowledge is power, and with money comes great power that requires the right knowledge to keep it and make it multiply. Be smart, and you won't be pushed around as much. If you know you are right, you are not afraid of fighting back. Each dollar in my asset column was a great employee working hard to make more employees and buy the boss a new Porsche. I remind people that financial IQ is made up of knowledge from our broad areas of expertise. Accounting, financially literacy is the ability to read and understand financial statements which allow you to identify the strength and weakness of any business. Investing is the science of making money making money. Understanding markets. Fourth, the law. It is like the difference between someone walking and someone flying. The difference is profound when it comes to long term wealth. When someone chooses wealthy individual often find that the wealthy person actually owns nothing. The poor and middle class try to own everything. Chapter 4. Summary. Nothing? Great. Chapter 5. In the real world outside of academics, something more than just grades is required. I have heard it called many things: guts, jab, balls, audacity, bravado, cunning, daring, tenacity, and brilliance. Today, wealth is in information. I have watched people playing cash flow complain that the right opportunity cards are not coming their way, so they sit there. I know people who do that in real life. They wait for the right opportunity. If you are the kind of person who is waiting for the right thing to happen, you might wait for a long. It's like waiting for the traffic lights to be green for 5 miles before you start your trip. The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is trained well, it can create enormous wealth. Buy, create, and sell. Investing is the science of money making money. The point I would like to make is that investments come and go. The market goes up and comes down. Economies improve and crash. The world is always handling you opportunities of a lifetime every day of your life, but all too often we fail to see them. But they are there. And the more the world changes and the more technology changes, the more opportunities there will be to allow you and your family to be financially secure for generations to come. Real estate and small cap stocks. The small cap stocks are used for the fast growth. The problem with secure investment is that they are often sanitized, that is made so fast safe that the gains are less. Our overall philosophy is to plant seeds inside my asset column. That is my formula. We start small and plant seeds. Some grow and some don't. It's not gambling if you know what you are doing. It's gambling if you just throwing money into a deal and playing. The idea in anything is to use your technical knowledge, wisdom, and love of game to cut the odds down, to lower the risk of odds. There is always risk. Great opportunities are not seen with your eyes, they are seen with your minds. But always remember to have fun. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. But have fun. Most people never win because they are more afraid of losing. That is why I found school so silly. In school, we learn that mistakes are bad and we are punished for making them. Humans are designed to learn. We learn by making mistakes. We learn to walk by falling down. If we never fall down, we would never start. The same is true for learning to ride a bike. I still have scars on my knees, but today I can ride a bike without thinking. The same is true for getting rich. Unfortunately, the main reason most people are not rich is because they are terrified of losing. Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. Failure is part of the process of success. People who avoid failure also avoid success. If you want to be the second type of investor, okay, इसके लिए ये करना पड़ेगा. There are two kinds of investors. The first and the most common type is a person who buys a packed investment. They call a retail outlet such as a real estate company, a stockbroker, or a financial planner, and they buy something. It could be mutual fund and RAREIT, a stock or a bond. It is a clean and simple way of investing. An analogy would be a shopper who goes to a computer store and buys a computer right off the shelf. The second type is an investor who creates investment. This investment Investor usually assembles a deal in the same way a company who buys components builds a computer. I do not know the first thing about putting components of a computer together, but I do know how to put pieces of opportunities together or know people who know how. In it is this second type of investor who is the more professional investor. Sometimes it may take years for all the pieces to come together, and sometimes they never do. It's this second type of investor that my rich dad encouraged me to be. It is important to learn how to put the pieces together because that is where the huge wins resides, and sometimes some huge losses if the tide goes against you. If you want to be the second type of investor, you need to develop three main skills. Find an opportunity that everyone else missed. Raise money. In other words, a majority of people let their lack of money stop them from making a deal. If you can avoid that obstacle, you will be millions ahead of those who don't learn those skills. Third, organizing most smart people. Intelligent people are those who work with or hire a person who is more intelligent than they are. When you need advice, make sure you choose your advisor wisely. There is always a risk, so learn to manage risk instead of avoiding it. Study session of chapter 5. Luck is created, so go create yours. It isn't our greatest assets, our mind. Train it well. The more you develop your financial intelligence, which takes time, the more opportunities will be offered to you. Robert's philosophy is to plant seeds in his asset column. Start small and plant seeds. Some grow, some don't. Some grow into millions from little investments. Work to learn, don't work for money. Chapter 6. Job security meant everything to my educated dad. Learning meant everything to my rich dad. Her eyes widened. Most people need only to learn and master one more skill and their income would just exponentially. You want to know a little about a lot. You want to know a little about a lot. A little about every aspect of his empire. Learning meant everything to my rich dad. I was studying trade, people, business styles, and cultures. Hardest part of running a company is managing people. School does not think financial intelligence is an intelligence. One lesson from Rich Dad that has become crystal clear over the past 25 years is the importance of choosing teachers who have actually done what you want to. Leadership is what you need to learn next. Job is an acronym for just over broke. I am not interested in going to the gym, but I go because I want to feel better and live longer. Life is much like going to the gym. The most painful part is deciding to go. Once you get that, it's easy. There have been many days I have dreaded going to the gym, but once I am there and in motion, it is a pleasure. After the workout is over, I am always glad I talked myself into going. The main management skill needed for success are management of cash flow, management of systems, management of people. Communication skills such as writing, speaking and negotiating are crucial to a life of success. The better you are at communicating, negotiating and handling your fear of rejection, the easier life is. Communication skills will improve and that is priceless. In addition to being good learners, sellers and marketers, we need to be good teachers as well as good students. The more they give, the more they receive. Giving money is the secret to most great wealthy families. The real winners will be the kids who may finally learn about money in school. Work to learn, don't work for money. They are one skill away from greatness. Is seek work that will teach them the skills they will need. But it's like going to the gym. You might have to talk yourself into starting, but you will be so glad you did when the workout is over. Rich Dad encouraged that, telling him to learn a little risk about a lot. They must take the time to learn more skills. Chapter 7, Overcoming Obstacles. The primary difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they manage fear. There are five main reasons why financially literate people may still not develop abundant asset column that could produce a large cash flow. The five reasons are fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, arrogance. Overcoming fear. I have never met a rich person who has never lost money. The greatest reason for lack of financial success will because most people played it too safe. People are so afraid of losing that they lose, were his words. Winning means being unafraid to lose. In my own life, I have noticed that winning usually follows losing. Before I finally learned to ride a bike, I first fell down many times. I have never met a golfer who has never lost a golf ball. I have never met people who have fallen in love, who have ever had their heart broken, and I have never met someone rich who has never lost money. But it's not having fear that is the problem, and it's how you handle fear, it's how you handle losing, it's how you handle failure that makes the difference in one's life. It's okay to be a coward when it comes to money. Some people are terrified about losing money. If you hate risk and worry, start early. If you start young, it's easier to be rich. So, for most people, the reason they don't win financially is because the pain of losing money is far greater than the joy of being rich. Everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. Choose to die instead of surrendering. Surrendering. Failure would only make him stronger and smarter. Failure inspires winners, failure defeats loser. For winners, losing inspires them. I have said that falling off my bike was part of learning to ride. If you have little money and you want to be rich, you must first be focused, not balanced. If you look at successful person at the start, they were not balanced. Balanced people go nowhere. They stay in one spot. To make progress, you must first go unbalanced. Just look at how you make progress until Thomas Edison focused, Bill Gates focused, Trump focused. If you have any desire to be rich, you must focus. Focus, follow one course until successful. Failure inspires winners and failure defeats losers. It's the biggest secret of winners. It's the secret that losers do not know. The greatest secret of winners is that failure inspires winning. They are not afraid of losing. Winners winning means being unafraid to lose. What if the economic crashes right after I invest? Mistakes are opportunities to learn. School has conditioned us to avoid mistakes and punishes students for making them. Mistakes are good thing if we find the lesson in every failure. People who are filled with doubt are willing to accept a far lower return. Doubt is expensive. But a savvy investor knows the seeming worst of time is actually the best of times to make money. When everyone else is too afraid to act, they pull the trigger and are rewarded. Cynics never win. Unchecked doubt and fear creates a cynic. Analysis allowed winners to see that critics were blind and to see opportunities that everyone else missed. Finding what people miss is key to any success. Finding a good manager is more important to me than the real estate. A great property manager often hears of great deals before estate agents do. Busy people are often the most lazy. If most people understood how a stock worked in stock market investment, there would be more people investing to win instead of investing not to lose. A stop is simply a computer command that sells your stock automatically if the price begins to drop, helping to minimize your losses and maximize some gains. It's a great tool for those who are terrified of losing. They stay busy, a way of avoiding something they do not want to face. If you are not busy at work or with the kids, they are often busy watching TV, fishing, playing golf, or shopping. Yet deep down, they know they are avoiding something important. That's the most common form of laziness. Laziness by staying busy. So, what is the cure for laziness? The answer is a little greed. The human spirit is very, very powerful. It knows it can do anything. Overcoming bad habit. Our lives are a reflection of our habits more than our education. So how do you beat laziness? The answer is a little greed. What's in it for me? You wouldn't say anything if you didn't pay yourself. So it is the fear of government or other people. You owe money to that motivates you. If I pay myself first, I get financially stronger, mentally and fiscally. So I pay myself first, I get financially stronger mentally and fiscally. When you know you are ignorant in a subject, start educating yourself by finding an expert in the field or a book on the subject. Summary of Chapter 7, Overcoming Obstacles. No highlight. Chapter 8, There is gold everywhere. Most people are not trained to see it. First, investing in learning about investing. First, investing in learning about investing. A truly intelligent person welcomes new idea. Listening is more important than talking. If that were not true, God would not have given us two ears and one mouth. Choose friends carefully. The power of association. Warning, don't listen to poor or frightened people. I have such friends, and while I love them dearly, they are the chicken littles of life. One expert will say the market is going to crash, and the other will say it's going to boom. If you are smart, you listen to both. Keep your mind open because both have valid points. Wise investors buy an investment when it's not popular. Insider trading. Master a formula and then quick a new one. The power of learning quickly. You become what you study. Be careful what you learn because your mind is so powerful that you become what you put in your head. Pay yourself first, the power of self discipline. The world pushes people around not because other people are bullies, not because the individuals lack internal control and discipline. People who lack internal fortitude often become victims of those who have self discipline. Management of cash flow, people, personal time. That is what the book is really about, having the guts to go against the tide and get rich. The real skill is to manage and reward the people who are smarter than you in some technical area. Information is priceless. As I said earlier, if a person cannot master the power of self discipline, it is best not to try to get rich. Easy roads often become hard, and the hard roads often become easy. 4 would have increased too. Okay. If you want something, you first need to give. It reminds me of the story of the guy sitting with firewood in his arms on a cold, freezing night. He is yelling at the pot bellied stove. When you give me some heat, then I will put some wood in you. And when it comes to money, love, happiness, sales, and contracts, all you need to remember is to give first. That your world is. It is true that your world is only a mirror to you. You only need to be generous with what you have. Study session of chapter 8. We all have the choice every single day what we do with our time and money and what we put in our heads, as our mind is our powerful tool. Listen, learn, take a long view of wealth, not a get rich quick mentality. Invest in your greatest asset, your mind, before investing in stocks or real estate. Chapter 9. Find someone who has done what you want to do. Shop for bargains in all market. Profits are made in buying, not in the selling. Action always beats inaction. Final thoughts. Cash Flow 202 teaches the principle of technical investing, involves advanced trading techniques such as short selling, call option, put option, and straddles. They have more self confidence because they are less afraid of losing. What are you waiting for? And here we have completed our book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. And thank you for being with us up to here. And I want you to be with us in the similar way you stayed with us like that. With the Rich Dad Poor Dad, and last book was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.